So, welcome to another edition of the Option Genius Show. Today is Friday. Happy Friday. TGIF. Ooh, 3-day long weekend. Woohoo! I love it. How you doing, Matt?
Doing well. How you doing?
Good. Good,
Yeah.
good, good. And for those of our listeners, make sure you understand we're talking about trading here. We're talking about the stock market. We're talking about options. You could lose money. Don't play with money you can't afford to lose. This is for entertainment only, maybe a little education.
There's
Yeah,
education there, of course. Of
a little education,
course.
and then all the good stuff. So be careful, right? Don't be crazy. Um, anyway, yeah, it's Friday, and as you were just mentioning, it's 3-day.
3 day. The markets are closed on the 19th. So on Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. So the stock market will be closed, the bond market will be closed. So know that information and know that if you're ready to trade Monday, you can't.
That's
So,
good. I
yep.
like it. I like it. That means one extra day of theta. Yahoo! And right now it's 1 o'clock, 3 for me Central. So that's 2 hours before the market closes. That means that the theta has probably already started leaking from the options, thanks to the
Right.
market makers for Monday. So yeah, if you go to sell your options on the close today, you'll probably see them a lot lower than they are right now. So woo.
There you go. Take advantage.
You want to capture that extra day, you need to get in the Friday starting at the morning.
That's right.
So yeah, good. Well, an extra day is always nice. Markets are closed. It gives people, like at least for me, like it gives me a little break,
Mhm.
mentally. It's like, oh, the market is closed. It's a weird feeling during the day, um,
Right.
because I want the market to be open so I can be making money. It's like, oh, we're not making any money today. But then you are because of the theta. So it's like, oh, I am, but I'm not. So it's weird.
But you're right. I tend to think of holidays like that. They're good reflection days, right? Because you're in the groove of the week before, and you kind of gives you time to reflect on the last week and the trades that you made and where they're going and where they're sitting. So it's a good day, I think.
Yep.
Good reset day.
Yeah. So currently, we're halfway done with January in 2026. Markets
Already.
S&P's up about 1.5%. So
Yeah.
not a big deal. It's up 0.23 today. The Rut's actually outperforming. Small caps are doing better than the S&P 500. Oil, even after all of the news with are we going to bomb Iran? Are we not going to? Are we going to put boots on the ground in Venezuela? Are we not going to? It's still at $60.
Pretty stable, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
For
went
all that.
up, came down, didn't do much. It's still at 60. Um, but there are people pulling back. So one of the biggest places where we get oil in the US is called the Permian Basin in Texas, where they're doing shale and fracking and all that stuff. And they are laying people off. Times are tough over there because their costs are $60 a barrel and up.
Right. So they're not making
So they're not
not making
making any money. It doesn't make them a lot of sense for them to be drilling right now. And so they're laying people off. They're cutting back. The rig count has been going down. And Trump is trying to keep pushing prices down. So that is actually going to hurt a lot of the oil producing areas in the US. And it's going to hurt the smaller guys more than the larger names, like the Exxons and the Valeros and the Chevrons and whatnot.
they can just sustain it, right?
Yeah, because they have other drilling areas. They're getting offshore, they're in other countries, so their cost of oil is lower, probably in the 40s or 50s.
Mhm.
And so they can still sustain it and still be profitable. Plus, they're public companies, or they're larger companies, so they can sell debt, they can sell bonds, they can sell stock, and raise money that way. They can borrow it from the bank just to tide them over. And a lot of them have become very efficient in terms of finances. Like in the past, it was always drill more, borrow more, drill more. It doesn't matter, but it would have boom and bust. So when oil was doing really good, they would make a lot of money. When oil was low, they would lose a lot of money. Now, if you notice, Exxon, Chevron, all these guys are at all-time highs,
Right.
right? Exxon is an all-time high. The other ones are more like 52-week highs and whatnot, and some of them are very close to being all-time highs. And that's with oil at $60 and not really doing anything all year last year. So they're profitable, and that's kind of why they don't want to really, or they're afraid to step their toe in Venezuela because they're like, well, what if we spend all these billions of dollars and it costs leads us to nothing? You know, we lose it all again, or there's a coup or something stupid
Yeah, I mean,
happens.
Trump's, theoretically he's there for another 36 months, right? And then what, right? It's like,
Uh-huh.
if they're thinking 10 years out, 20 year, like where is this going to be? They don't want to go in there and, put all this investment and then just have it change, right? Which
Exactly.
could, which it could.
And for them, it's like, do we even need to be there?
Yeah.
Well, we already did our jobs. We got plenty of oil. We got all the leases and stuff where we're already drilling. Do we need to go and do more?
Yeah.
I don't know. The stock's doing great. I'm an executive. I'm getting paid my bonus, my salary. I'm happy. Why rock the boat?
It's funny. I was listening to, I caught all the executives. They came into Washington, D.C. and had a meeting with Trump, and they had like
Mm-hmm.
a round table, and
Mm-hmm.
they're going around and they're all cozying up to Trump, and they're like, "Yeah, this is a great idea, and this and this and this, and I'm from such and such company, and I'm really looking forward to this." And then they got to, it's just funny. They got to like Exxon, and he's like, "My name's so and so," and he said nothing. He just passed on to the next guy, and I was like, "Wow, okay, we'll see how he feels about that." So it's just pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, later on, Exxon, he said that it's in Venezuela is not investable. You
Right. And
know?
during the meeting, like he just like each person said, I'm so
Oh,
interested
wow.
in this and I think this is a great idea. And he just said his name and it's like Trump's like, okay, and then went on to the next guy. I was like, all right, we see where you sit there.
Yep. And then now today, the opposition leader of Venezuela was in the Washington to meet with Trump. She
Yeah.
gave him her Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, I saw that.
She's like, please put me in power. Please make me the
Yeah,
president. Here, I'll do whatever you want.
give you anything.
Oh, yeah, here you go. I'll do whatever you want. It's like, oh my goodness. Um, and so, Trump's actually, I don't know. He's actually looks like he's leaning towards the vice president that's still there, the Maduro vice president, and he's leaning away from this lady, um, because the Maduro vice president was, I mean, she's a smart lady. She is very, I mean, she worked her way up through the government, and in before she became vice president, she was in charge of the nation's oil stuff, the
Mhm.
oil facilities and all that stuff, because they were natural no, nationalized, so they were owned by the government. So she was in charge of that, and she happened to have the Venezuela oil companies donate to Mr. Trump's campaigns.
Yeah.
So he knows that, yeah, she's a supporter of mine from way back, and that's why she's still in power and why they didn't pick her up too. I mean, they picked up Maduro, they didn't pick up the vice president. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
So
Little underpinnings, right?
yeah, so I don't know. It's just a big funny game. But yeah, so
Sure.
it's right now the opposition leader, she's even though she's giving him the Nobel Prize and she's sucking up, she had to come to him.
Of course.
And Trump is going to go to Venezuela to meet the vice president.
Oh, was there a timeline on that?
It's coming up. He said he's coming up soon.
Okay. There.
So interesting.
See what
Oh
that
man.
vice president can offer.
Exactly, right? Because they're already selling Venezuela oil. Like they already sold some of the oil and they're keeping a piece of it. They're like, okay, Venezuela's gonna get this percentage, and the oil company's gonna get this percentage, and the US is gonna get this percent. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Right.
And then what they
Well,
seized I think it was the sixth tanker
they
off
got
the
the six
uh,
tanker. Yeah, I don't even know why they're seizing tankers now. It's like,
yeah.
what? So that's oil. The metals are down a bit today, and the Dow is flat, and Bitcoin is going down again after the Bitcoin bill did not pass yesterday.
Yeah,
because
from the CEO of Coinbase.
yeah,
That's
he didn't like
discrepancy.
it. He said it wasn't really good, and so they killed it. I guess the senators were like, okay, Mr. CEO doesn't like it, so we'll stop voting for it. Okay. Um,
Yeah, I think that needs to be worked out. It'll be worked out over time. I think they're going to revisit it, I think next month. So we'll see.
yeah.
It's going to take time.
And at this point, like, I don't know, is Bitcoin worth being in? You know, I mean, the only reason okay, so there's the Bitcoin evangelists, right? They're like, oh, this is the new money, and it's so wonderful, and you can't be tracked, but you can be tracked, and it's like, there's no inflation with Bitcoin, but there is, and I mean, so there are people who love the Bitcoin, and then there's the people who, like me, who are just in the Bitcoin because it was going up, and now it's not going up anymore. So do we stay in it? Like, is the growth in Bitcoin going to still be there? And I don't.
Um, I have my thoughts on it. I mean,
Go ahead.
yeah, I think that it is. We know we seem to know the basic direction with it, right? It's just like I look back to the internet, right? It sounded crazy back in 1996. Just hear me out, right? That it was crazy. No one thought you would go online and shop, right? That was seemed so far. I think Bitcoin's in that kind of stage right now where it's not really known or understood. People don't really understand it. I think there's a lot of education missing with it, but we know that it is desirable because they see it as a store of value because it cannot be debased. That's the only thing that is really pushing people towards it, right? In a world that where we have fractional reserve banking, where we're face it, where inflation is the troubles of modern day society, right? Um, I think that it will slowly gravitate to that as more people learn about it and more things start, more instability happens in the world like we're seeing.
Well,
So
it's already
like,
been around for like 15 years. I mean, people know about it. They've heard about it. I think everybody's heard about it.
but in the spectrum of things, people are going to go to gold. It's been around 6,000 years, right? That's what they understand.
Right.
Um, I just think it's one of those things where people will start to understand over time. So I
But
think
like
we know
Bitcoin has no use case. It's not
I don't think it has to
for
though.
anything. No?
I think it's the use is really that'd be an add-on over time. I think really what it is just a store of value. People are looking for places to put their money where they're not going to lose, right? And if you're putting in the bank, inflation's eating you up, so
Hmm.
we're forced in all these possibilities. I mean, look at Iran, for example. Their currency just went to crap, right, overnight. So all of a sudden they have a surge in the Bitcoin. They're going to search for wherever they can go for something that will hold their value. So
That makes sense. So for like,
yeah,
for
I mean,
economies that are not doing well, then instead of putting your money in your local currency, you would put it in Bitcoin.
yeah, because it's transportable. You could,
But
you
as
know,
an investor, like me, for an investor, right? Now
yeah.
I'm holding it and it's at, 95,000. Is it going to go to $1 million? Is it going to make, is it going to go that much?
I mean,
Because in the
maybe I think you got to look at your time frame. I mean, it has to be, you have to look at it as an adoption um,
hmm
case, not as like, okay, it's going to go up overnight. I mean, that's not going to happen. Not likely,
Well, I
right?
mean, it kind of did. Like
Well, yeah, sure,
I bought my
but
first coin at 12 grand and now it's at 95. So it's like, I'm really happy, right? But I wanted to go again. I wanted to go 10 times again. I don't know if it's going to happen.
well, it might. I mean, you could look at the percentages of its, well, the probably the best performing asset over the last 16 years. You could probably look at that and say it is. you know. But a lot of people stay away from it because of volatility um, there's a stigma to it that it's not a form of money. It can be, no one knows like Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know who he is, where he is, what he is, that's all plays into the psyche of what people think about it. But I think if you are into that, it is what's a $2 trillion asset class now, and there's starting to be regulation, like we're talking about with Coinbase, starting to form around it. Yeah, it may be something that is in its infancy, but it may be something down the road. So I think you just kind of have to extend out your time frame if you're about to put a little bit in there. I think it's important that you have, like they say in the industry, that you get off zero. You gotta have some. I wouldn't want to be shorted.
No, I'm not talking about being
Yeah,
shorted, but
yeah.
I'm looking, and that's going to lead me to the question that I want to talk about today. But like, so I have money in it. Um, how long do I wait where it's not doing anything? That's my thinking. Like I want to keep my money moving. I want to keep it growing. If I have a bunch of money sitting in here, and if it's like 5%, 10% of my portfolio, that's great. But I like my all of my portfolio to be growing. I'm kind of greedy like that, I guess. And that's why I've never owned a lot of gold. I've never owned gold,
It's a store of value, right?
except for now. I own gold now because it's going up. I see that. But up till now, it's been very steady, sideways, not, it hasn't appreciated as much as other things. And so, um, yeah, it's interesting. I hear different, like you hear the crypto people talk about, oh yeah, it's gonna go to $1 million, it's gonna go to 500,000, and um, that's great, but I don't know if I'm gonna be alive to see that. So
Well, I mean, it's shown, it got to what, 126, but people worry that all of a sudden it's going to go down to, 20.
yeah,
And any kind of asset, whatever it is, it takes time to mature. So I think those will be, less and less the chances of it having a huge drawdown like 8% or 9%.
right.
Looking at over time.
Alright.
I look at more of a store of value than anything at this point. So I'd
So I,
definitely be
yeah.
investing in other things as far as if you want
hmm
to make money now as opposed to that.
I got an email from American Express. They have a savings account.
Mhm.
So I have some money in the savings account. I got an email. Oh, hey, your interest rate's being adjusted. Like, oh, that's when it goes up, they tell you in the email, like, oh, your interest rate's going up. But
Yeah, you
when it's
never
going
hear it going down.
down,
Yeah,
it's being adjusted. I was like, oh, so it's like around 3%, 3.5 or something. I looked up inflation. Inflation's 2.7 right now.
right. So
I'm
it's
like,
just
I'm making 1% on this junk. I have a savings account that's tied to my checking account at Chase, and they're paying 0.2%. Like
I mean,
that's not
that's the
even
game
what.
though, right? If you think about it, that's you put your money with the bank, they're going to lend it out, right? Fractional reserve banking, they're making the money.
But they're
What
paying
are you making? You're not making
0.2%?
anything. That's the whole game,
That's
right?
a, that's a that's an insult.
It is.
0.2%. They freaking
It's
just say zero.
criminal, right? So, but that's the system that we're in, right?
Oh
And that's with
man.
inflation, what they say it is, right? It's most likely higher than what they're saying, of course.
Yeah. Um, and so, we have had a bunch of stocks that are moving into threshold territory. A lot of them recently.
Yeah, I know.
The latest one that might happen today is Raytheon, or it used to be called Raytheon. It's RTX.
Mhm.
It's a defense contractor. So if you look at that chart, I mean, that's a beautiful chart. I haven't seen it until today, but it's a very nice looking chart. It's hitting an all-time high. It's about to cross $200 today. It did. I don't know if it's going to close above it, but it's crossed $200 today. Um, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of stocks that are not talked about as much. Everybody's like, "Oh, AI, the AI trade, and the Amazon and the Facebooks and the Googles," but there's a lot of stocks out there that are doing really, really, really well that are not talked about. There's one that is a threshold, but this one, I mean, this one's like unbelievably crazy. It's KLAC. Have you seen this one?
Oh, I've heard about it. So,
Yeah. I
uh,
mean, that thing, KLAC today is trading at $1,565.
right.
And at the beginning of the year, it was at 1,200.
Oh, wow.
So, in two
So it
weeks.
hit a low back in April 8th.
Yeah.
It was 551, and now it's 15, almost $1,600.
Yes.
I mean,
So that's what is that? A double and another double? Quadruple? I don't know. I'm not good at math. I don't
it sounds
know.
sexy for
Is
people
that
to talk about. Like they don't want to be, think about it. They're going to be on the news and be like, clack. It just doesn't make newsworthy, right? So it's on us to really figure out what's valuable, right?
Yep. So I mean the threshold ones are killing it, ripping it. Right now, one of the ones I'm in is GE. I've
Yep.
been riding this one for since last year or the 2 years,
There you
three
have. You've been
years.
on this one for a long time.
Yeah, I like this one. You know, and it crossed the threshold, then it pulled back, and now it's kind of been treading water, but now it's almost there at the profit target. Um, GEV, its sister company, up 5% today. And that one is almost at 700. That's at a all-time high. So um, there's several companies, good, strong companies that are working really well. You know, Raytheon is a defense contractor,
Mhm.
and so the more missiles that are shot, the more money they make, kind of thing.
Yep.
'Cause that's like a great product, you know. You charge a lot of money for it, and then once it's used, boom, you got to go buy another one. You can't reuse it.
Yeah. You gotta remake them.
Yep. You got to remake it. And
And they're gonna
then,
pay for it. You're gonna pay for it because you need it,
yeah,
unfortunately.
yeah, I mean, Europe is arming up right now because of US talk about Greenland and about Russia. It's like Europe's like in between. They're like, oh, the hell, what's going on? We got one guy attacking from the left, one guy attacking from the right. Oh my God, what's going on?
I mean, our minds are in Venezuela, we're in Iran, we're thinking about Greenland. It's like we're just looking over here, looking over here, looking over here. It's like, what's going on?
Yep, everybody's arming up, you know? And these other countries, you know, the ones that are like, oh, this country is going to invest so much money in America. No, they're just buying guns and bombs and bullets and stuff. You know, it's like, okay, so we're like we're not the drug dealer of the world, but we're the arms dealer of the world, the biggest one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so war is profitable,
Unfortunately so.
unfortunately.
Unfortunately so.
Oh my. So
It's yeah.
so the big question I had to you for today, and I've been toying with this, and I because I'm dealing with it, I'm going through it right now. If you are in a trade, if you're in a stock, you own this stock, and maybe it's a big position, but you're sitting at a loss, how long do you stay in it? Because obviously, you know, you want it to recover. You think it's a good company, otherwise, hopefully, you wouldn't have been in it. But there's something happening, you know, and for some reason, it's pulled back. And so you have a big loss and it's emotional. So I'll give you the numbers. Um, I had sold puts on Netflix and Netflix was doing great. So I did it over and over and over again. And then I went into the split, right? Because Netflix did a big split. And so I got a whole bunch of options then after that. Um, and so now after that, the stock started falling. And I thought, okay, this might be temporary. And so I kept rolling it forward. And the stock kept dropping and dropping. And I'm like, okay, this is a good company. They're making money. They're growing. The fundamentals are good. This is just temporary. It's going to pull back. I kept rolling it. Stock kept dropping. And it's continued to drop. Right now, I have 2,100 shares and I'm down $78,000. So right now I have some naked puts on it. I have some covered calls on it, but the stock is not really doing much. It's trading at about 87 or 90. My price that I got in averaged was 125. So I need the stock to go up by another, 40% to break even. 35, 40%, somewhere around there.
Right. It's not a fun place to be.
Uh-uh. And so I see this on my chart on my screen. It's like, oh, big loss, nothing happening every day. And then I see all this other stuff that's just jumping and jumping and jumping. And I'm like, huh, I can't do that because my money's tied up in this. And
Yes.
I'm
Hmm.
so the question is,
Not an uncommon problem. I mean,
no, no, very
yeah.
common. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So the question is, when do you give up the ghost and pull the plug? and get out and move it to something else because obviously, you know, if I take the money that's invested in this and put it into like a GEV or a Raytheon or a CLAC or whatever, I'll be making better because they're moving higher and this one is not. But um, the same thing happened to me last year with Eli Lilly. I had bought the stock and it went down and I sat on it for a little while, but then I said, you know what? I'm done. I'm moving. And as soon as so when I was in the stock, it's funny, my account was not growing because all my trades would do good, but the Eli Lilly position would keep going down. So it was
So
my
it
my
negated
account
everything else.
my account was just like not growing. Finally, I was like, I'm done with this. I got out of the stock and the account started growing again. And I forgot about Eli Lilly until later on in the end of the year when it made a new high. And so I could have made all my money back that I had lost in Eli Lilly plus more if I had stayed in the stock.
Yeah.
So
Right.
you have a little bit of, okay, I think I did the right thing, but I think I'm also kicking myself because I lost, I could have made it all back. I didn't have to take the loss. Um, so now I'm in this situation, and now it's like, oh, I was in this situation before, and last time, it worked, but I could have maybe made more or less. I don't know, but I don't know. What's your take on this?
So it's like I have a lot of things going on in my head, right? A lot of it is okay, the money's in the waiting, right? They always talk about waiting, right? But first and foremost, has in my mind, right, when I look at it, has the story changed, right? First of all, do you think it's like in Netflix, you said that you still believe it's a good company, right? You still believe it's
I
profitable.
I think
It's
it's a
not
good company. They're
profitable.
profitable, but they're also doing a deal to buy another company right now, and that's why I think the stock is dropping because they're paying a lot more money for that other company and they're in the negotiating phase. So maybe, if they don't buy that company, and the other, so there's like a bidding war between them and I think Paramount to buy um Warner Brothers, I believe it is. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I think it is. I think that's right.
And so, if Netflix loses and they don't pay for it, then they save all this money. Hopefully the stock will jump, right? If they do win and they pay all the money, then I don't know what happens to the stock. Maybe because the deal is done, maybe the stock will go higher, or who knows?
I
It
mean,
might
is
just
there anything in Netflix history to prove otherwise that it's going a different direction?
I don't know. I'm not a
I
big thing of holder. I haven't. Oh, this is the first time I ever bought Netflix myself, so I don't know.
so maybe it's different for everybody, but maybe part of the answer is maybe you saw some of it.
That's an idea.
It's like we don't have to just get out of everything completely. Maybe the answer is in the middle somewhere, right? Then you have a chunk of money that you can move to something else and take a shot at, and then half of your thesis stays with Netflix and see where it goes. Then you don't feel so conflicted.
Hmm.
That would be my kind of answer to that, right? And it might be as simple as it sounds kind of cheesy, right? But you do a pro and con of moving the stock and see where it ends up. Whether it seems like a good idea in the pro section to move it and what's the cons of it, right? So you can put them side by side and look at them and then make your decision.
Yeah, and part of the con is I'm sitting on a paper loss of $78,000.
Right. And it's not realized till you actually sell, right? Of course.
So if I get
But
out, there we go. That's in there. But now, that will open up a lot more money to go put it in something else, which
right.
I don't know if I'm going to make money there either, right? It's like, okay, I might,
No, you don't. You don't. But maybe that goes back to the answer of half and half, right? At
mm,
least your mind's pulling yourself to take a shot at something else where you believe you have to have a reason to move it, right? To some other opportunity.
right.
But you should be well convicted that that's the shot that you want to take. Otherwise, I would leave it where it is.
So the other component is that this is my trading account. This is not like my retirement account that I don't mind owning it for the next 20 years, right? This
Different.
account is where I generate my income from. So I need to continuously keep the money rolling. And if it's stuck in this stock and the only, like I can sell some puts on it, that'll take more money. I can sell some calls on it, but the premium is very low. It's not really that much.
Hmm.
And so if I'm not, if all that money is tied up in this one stock, then the income from the whole portfolio will go down.
Correct. Yeah.
And that's what we like, that's what we use to live on. So it's like, okay, that's another component, and I can't stay in it that long.
Right.
Um,
That's a check. That's a check in my mind to get out of some of it.
yeah,
At least you give yourself a little bit of a time frame to see if that can recover, but you still have some working capital to take your shots at other opportunities
right.
for the account.
And the thing is that I don't know when it's gonna finish, like that whole deal, the negotiations with the buying or the counter offers, and
Yeah, who knows, right?
I don't know how long that's going to take. Could take a year, 2 years. If the stock just stays flat for 2 years, that's gonna really be painful. Not just in, oh, I have a loss, but in how much money did I not make with the money?
No, and it could go down further. You don't know, right?
Yeah, true.
It's not like you're just at this point, right? It could get worse. That's a possibility too. So I think in my mind it's a half. You unload some of it.
Okay. That's a good idea, though. I hadn't
Yeah,
thought of
I
that.
think we skip over that a lot. It's like, okay, well, it's the same idea when people are like, okay, am I going to do covered calls, right? Maybe I don't want to do covered calls on my all these shares that I have. You can do in some of it, a portion of
Right.
it, right?
Yeah. And there's so
No.
many opportunities. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, okay, if I'm going to sell it, maybe I'll just sell some very close to the money calls,
Mhm.
and if they expire, great. That's good. They'll be really valuable. But if they get taken away, okay, I was going to sell half of it anyway.
Exactly. I like that.
So that's
Yeah.
another option. Yeah.
Yeah. Why? I'd rather do that than just get out of it.
We could be laddering it in too. Like it's trading at $88 right now. So, I could sell some at 90, some at 92, some at 95,
How it's
and
moving,
then
right?
yeah, and then just keep see how it goes. Um,
I like that approach. That's kind of where my mind goes on it.
Sweet. Yeah. There's so many different potential possibilities.
But
Um,
at least you have some control over it, right? It's like you can do something.
hmm
It's just not like you're sitting there and just watching it go to zero or whatever it's going to go to.
Right.
You have some ability to alter the outcome in my mind by the
Definitely.
options. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, you could sell some, you could sell none of it, keep doing it. You can still earn an income from the calls, from the covered calls that are
Hmm.
far out of the money. Um, or you could say, hey, I'm going to sell closer to the money. And if it goes away, it goes away. And I'll move that money into something else.
I mean, to me, it's the essence of why we teach this stuff. Because if you had some person that just bought it, they would just be sitting and looking at it, right? You're talking to
Hmm.
someone with not an advisor, they'd just be sick or with.
Right.
They'd be looking at it and it's just going down, down, and down, and you're just depressed and you feel helpless. But with the knowledge that we have and teach, you can do something about it, right? It's like you have a shot at changing it.
And even, what was I about to say? I was like, even if I wanted to, I could use the money that I'm getting from selling the calls or whatnot to buy more shares and lower my cost basis.
Mhm.
So, especially if I was wanting to be in it long term, that's another option. You just keep lowering your cost basis by generating free cash by selling puts or calls.
It's interesting you're talking about this because now I think about it in our class last evening, we had a similar situation where a member of ours had a bunch of shares of Crocs, right? And she's accumulated, I have so many shares. Like, what do I do with it? It's going down. it's not really, it wasn't going down in the case of Netflix, but it's more sideways, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
maybe the answer is trying to sell off something, but you can do something about it, right? So it's the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. Crocs is at like 83.5 right now.
Right.
It's not really doing much.
But she bought it like years ago, right? And she's kind of right where she is. She's right at where she bought it like a year or two ago.
Mm.
It hit like really high, 100 something on the chart, and then it's come back to where it is where she initially bought it. But now she's accumulated all these shares. It's like, okay, what do I do? So, you can use options to unload some of that
Mm-hmm.
and get paid for it, right? So that's pretty nice.
Mm. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start taking a look at selling some closer options, some calls, especially since the stock Netflix is not really doing much. It's not really going up.
Yeah.
And so
I don't,
with
I kind of look at it like a challenge. I mean, it's kind of, you can kind of see it from day to day and pay attention to it and
yeah,
uh, see if you
and
can wiggle
then
your way out. Yeah.
and then
So,
with that money from the calls, I could maybe if I buy more shares, or I could just keep that money and let go. It doesn't even have to be. I don't have to sell even half of it. I could sell, a couple hundred shares at a time.
mhm.
So interesting.
And
Great.
that's
This
that's what I
helped.
would use for that account, right? Because that's the account where you want to move money and
Hmm.
look to different opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I have a spreadsheet that I track, and like whenever I'm selling, like let's say a naked put or a covered call or whatever, there's one column that says, okay, how much money am I going to make on this per day? And if it's below a certain number, that tells me, hey, I shouldn't do this trade because I
Mhm.
can find something better. And like right now, I was having trouble with Netflix. I'm like, I can't find anything to sell because the per day amount is it's not worth it. Um, so yeah, and at this point, I don't think it's gonna rally, up 40% super fast. So
Yeah.
I think I'll be okay for now. But cool, this was very helpful. All right, cool little coach the coach session. I
A
like
little
it.
bit of I have a little history with Netflix. I talked about people. I actually tried to get I tried to get a sign like I tried to get the stock. I did a bunch of naked puts on it.
Hmm.
This is back when it was like 300. And I was like, oh, it was a big downturn in the economy and everything was crashing. And I was like, oh yeah, I can get it. I can get it. So instead of me just buying it outright, I tried to do some naked puts on it and just never got a sign. And it just took off. Just like, phew.
Oh yeah, then it went up to what, 1,000, and then it got
Yeah,
split.
I'm like, man, I had it. But you can't second guess yourself in that
Yeah,
situation.
I
Yeah,
mean, you still made money, so you could
sure.
have made a lot more, but you did make
Yeah,
money.
yeah, you can't look at it that way.
Yeah, you could have
But
made money all the way up if you kept selling the puts as it
mhm,
kept rising. Um,
yeah,
but so awesome, cool. All right, let's take a look at our SmackDown situation.
right.
Let me let you share the screen. All right.
Get it. All righty.
And for those of you who are watching, if you have any questions, please comments, let us know in the chat, and we'll be happy to answer.
Should make this a little bit bigger. Okay, there we go.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna put it over here. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Whoa, look at that. Connor is in the lead.
Connor Mays, man, he found some good ones.
He was,
So,
I made fun of him last time. I was like, he's like gambling on this one. But yeah, if he's up 12%. Number one. What else? We got 5% for AMD. I think that's number two, and 4.7 for HL, Robert Haley.
yeah, what was that one? HL.
And Hecla
Heck,
Mining. Yeah. And so our reigning champion, two-time champion, Mike Luttrell, is still negative right now. Um,
gotta watch out for that guy.
yeah, he
Defending
knows
champion.
he knows what he's doing. Um, okay, and then our first-time champion, Mark Strickland, I don't see him here. I guess he didn't enter this month. All
No, I
right.
haven't seen him. Um, A-Lab, I thought, was it A-Lab up on the top one from
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Carter?
Mm-hmm.
So yesterday that was like at 160 something. So that had quite a jump.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a notable. Couple days ago.
So Nvidia's up. Google's down. Costco's coming up.
Yeah, Costco's been it's down quite a bit for a while. Got into the 800s
Mm-hmm.
and rallying back. They had some good numbers.
Yeah. AMD is doing well. So that's in second. What was that in second place? 513?
Let's see. Yeah, 513. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. I like it. We got a real contest going on here.
I know it's a little bit more even at the moment.
Mm-hmm. So it's only been 1 week, but we got 2 more weeks left. And we'll see what happens. We'll keep going. All right. This is
Good luck
fun.
to everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck to everybody. Uh, cool beans. All right. Well, it is Friday. And we got no comments in the chat. So if you guys are watching, leave your comments if you have them, or subscribe, or like, or hit the thumbs up button. Do all that good stuff because it does help the algorithm. Um, and it helps
And I
push.
would say this, I would say even leave a comment about topics that you may want to talk about.
Yes,
You
that
can't
would
read
be
people's minds, so write it out.
That would be very helpful. Yeah. Things you
Yeah.
want us to talk about. Maybe a deep dive into a stock that you're looking at or something like that. We can take a look at the pros and cons and whatnot. And go with that. So yeah. Awesome. Cool beans. All right. So this is Friday. We're gonna have a 3-day weekend. That's always sweet. There is a lot of football this weekend. We got the playoffs with my Texans in there.
Some cold weather
And
there too.
yeah, they said we might. I'm in Houston, right? So I'm on the south side of Texas. We might get some flurries, snow flurries on Sunday morning, Sunday night, like at nighttime. Between Saturday night and Sunday morning, somewhere
I'm
around
in the
there.
same basket. They're talking some of that craziness that's going to be a little
But
bit
you're
less
on,
than.
but you're on the beach, right? You're in Florida on the beach.
Yeah, but they were talking about possible snow in the Panama City area to Pensacola over to Mobile.
Okay.
I don't think it's
Well,
going to be anything, but
yeah. So North Texas is definitely going to get snowed. South side, I don't know. Actually, I think I'm further south than you, right? I don't know.
we're just about even actually. I
We
would
are,
say.
we are? Okay.
Yep.
How far are you from I-10?
About an hour and a half, I'd say.
To the south or to the north?
Drive north.
You're
Yeah.
north of I-10. Okay, so
No, I'm south.
we're
I'm
you're
south.
you're south of I-10. Okay.
Hour and a half drive north to I-10.
Okay. So you might be further south because I'm only half an hour from I-10. I'm
I
half
don't
an
know.
hour south of I-10.
I looked at us before, and we're kind of right on the
You
same
got
road.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like New Orleans, Houston.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
I-10, it just cuts straight
Yeah,
across.
straight across. Right.
It's a flat straight line.
Yep. Yep. The
Cool beans.
maniac drivers of I-10. Yeah.
Yep.
There.
Uh, all right, my friends. So we'll see you all on next Wednesday.
Sounds good. Everyone have a
Cool
great
beans.
weekend.
All right, guys. Take care.